going to bake a very traditional Christmas bread, which I was introduced to when I lived in Frankfurt, Germany many years ago. And of course it's called Stollen, and I simply love it. So let's start it. Okay, the very first step to make my German Stollen is to mix 3 tablespoons of dark rum with half a cup. I have currants here, but you can use cherries or currants, or you can use cranberries, whatever you have available, they'll be fine. And then I have half a cup of raisins and a cup of dried fruit, mixed dried fruit. Okay, so I mix it all up thoroughly, and I'm going to leave this, all the fruit, the raisins and the currants, in the rum overnight. Okay, and here we have it all mixed up, and tomorrow I'll continue. The next step is to mix 1 cup of unbleached flour. I have 3/4 cup of warm milk, and I heated it up to a degree of 110 Fahrenheit. Then I also have 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast, and I have 1 teaspoon of honey. So let me mix all this. First of all, I pour in the milk. And I pour in the yeast. And of course I want to mix it up. Alright. And here comes a teaspoon of honey. Okay, so mix it up again. And then I add the flour little by little. And I'm going to leave this alone for about 30 minutes, and I'll continue then. Okay, I want to activate the yeast this way. Just make sure I don't have any lumps in here. It seems like they're going away, so this is fine. So there are a couple of steps for this bread, for this Stollen bread. Okay. Of course, I should mention to you, I'm going to cover up this yeast mixture. All right, with the towel. Remove the whipper, and here we mix it up, cover it up, and I'll be back. And here we have the remaining ingredients. I have about 3.5 cup of flour here. 3.5, you might even need 4. You find out when you finish mixing it all up how much flour you want in there, but at least 3.5 cup. I have 4 ounces of marzipan. I have half a cup of chopped almonds. I have 1 egg, which I'm going to beat up. I have a 1/3 cup of honey. I have 4 ounces of unsalted butter. I have 1 tablespoon of lemon peel. I have 1 teaspoon of salt. I have half a teaspoon of cardamom, cinnamon and ginger. And that should be the rest of it, yes. So I have to start mixing up the dough. And let me tell you here, I added the raisins, all the spices, as well as the salt to the flour mixture here. Okay, the almonds, the spices and the salt, it has all been added to the flour. And let me show you, here I have the yeast mixture. It has risen and it's nice and bubbly. So the first step is to pour this into my mixer. And here is the yeast mixture coming. And I pour in the 1/3 cup of honey to the yeast mixture. here comes the egg, and I whipped up the whole egg. Here it is in the mixture as well. And let me mix this up a little bit before I start adding the flour. Now we start adding the flour little by little. And of course the flour has, like I already mentioned, the spices and the salt in it, as well as the almonds, the chopped almonds. And I add it little by little and beat it thoroughly in between. To beat it for, when you have it all together, you want to beat it for at least, I would say at least 3 minutes, but you want to make sure it all sticks together, and it should be fine. And of course I also want to add the soft butter as well. It goes in, mix that up. And I added the rest of the flour, and I'll keep beating for another 3 minutes after the rest of the flour was added. Well, my mixer did a great job, and now I'll add the fruit, and I will have the mixer doing a little bit more work, but then I'll have to finish it by hand. And I'm mixing a little bit by hand now. The very last step before I can shape the bread, the Stollen bread. And pretty soon I can put it on the baking sheet, and I have to leave it there for about an hour to raise. So we are moving forward. And I think it looks pretty good with all the fruit mixture in it. That's wonderful. And the almonds as well, and of course I also going to add the marzipan real soon, when after I have shaped the bread. And I divided the dough into 2 pieces, and I will now roll it out to each of them to about 7 by 9. Okay. And then I'm going to fill them with marzipan in the center. So let's roll it out first. Just see how long it is. Oh, it is 9 and it is 7. So that was pretty good. And here we have the marzipan. I put that in the center of the bread. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Like that. Okay, just spread it out. Yeah, that's it. And then I fold it over 1 time. And here comes the other side. Squeeze it together. Okay, I think that should be fine. And I'll put it on the baking sheet. I already buttered and floured the baking sheet, and I will shape the second loaf. And here you see my 2 loaves. I'm now covering them up, and I'll be back in about an hour to see if there isn't enough. That should be fine though. Okay, so I heated up the oven to a degree of 350, and I'll brush the loaves with a little melted butter, and I will put them in the oven, and I'll bake them for approximately between 35 and 45 minutes, and should be done. And of course I have to dust them with powdered sugar when I take them out of the oven. So here they go in the oven, and I will check back in about 35 minutes to see how they look. Okay, hopefully they're done by then. And the final step is to cover the Stollen with powdered sugar. You can just use plain powdered sugar like I do here, or you can also, some people like to mix up the sugar with water and then cover the Stollen with it, but I just use the powdered sugar. I think it's easy enough. Okay, and then I can taste my Stollen, but normally I will leave it for a couple of days before I will eat it. So I know it's going to taste great. And I am slicing my Stollen. Want to have 2 thick slices. And here you can see the filling. I think it looks pretty good. Of course, I can't wait to have a bite of my German Stollen. I love it. I mean, I don't want Christmas without Stollen, that's for sure. It's so good. And I hope you also like it. Please subscribe to our channel. Happy holidays to all of you. Of course I had to say Skål, but since this is German, I also want to say Prost. So take care and please subscribe, and I hope to see you another day. Skål again.